Oh man, we are in for a fun one today. Love my mailman Nick. Heard we got something in the mail today, so check this out. See what I'm talking about? My man Nick is awesome. 7RYMES sent us out this microphone to give a try and let you guys know what we think and see if it might be something that works for you. Get back to the studio, check this guy out. All right, back to the studio here. So not only do I love my mailman, but you can love yours too, because 7RYMES has agreed to give one of these away to one of you guys. So you want to check out this video, make sure you think this mic sounds good, and maybe that's something that might work for you. So check out the link in the description below. You can go sign up for the contest. We're only running it from 2 weeks from the time I launched this video. So if you're outside the 2 weeks, sorry, you're not going to win the microphone. But if you do, 7RYMES is going to send one of these guys to you. Then you can love your mailman as much as I love mine. All right, let's get into unboxing this and giving this guy a try. All right, guys, there you go. You just saw the quick unboxing here of the 7RYMES SR USB mini microphone. So this thing is looking pretty cool. I mean, it feels pretty solid. It's got a nice metal build to it here. We can see on the top, if you take a look at the microphone, you can actually see through there. Almost looks like a little fan blade. Now, on the microphone itself, it does have a volume dial where you can go up and down. Also has a mute button on the front, which is kind of nice. Sometimes you want to mute that guy. You don't want it live and active all the time. On the back of the microphone here, it does have a headphone jack where you can plug in some headphones and monitor directly through the microphone itself, as well as the USB cable where you're going to plug that into your computer here. Overall, I mean, first impressions, the mic feels good. It feels solid. I'm really looking forward to seeing how does this guy sound. We're going to plug it right into DaVinci Resolve. We're going to do some recordings, try some things out. I'm going to screen record it. You're going to see how that sounds, and you can decide, is this something that you think might work for you, and is it worth the price of the mic? So we do get a couple cables here with the microphone. All right, the first one here is a USB cable. It's going to plug directly from the mic into your computer. This is looks like a USB-C to USB-C plug on both ends. So you could go from here, you know, if you have a USB-C on your computer, you can go into that, or if you just have, you know, the USB 3 or the USB 2, you can use this cord. So they give you the option, and it's nice that you get both of those with it. You also get this cool little carrying case here. Not too shabby. I like that. I like having something to put the microphones in when I'm not using them, because I love me some good audio, so I try out lots of different microphones, as you guys might have noticed if you watch my channel. So it's nice to have a bag that I can put this in while I'm not using it. And you also get the instructions here. I'm going to take a quick look at these before I get going with it here, and I recommend that you do too. Always check out the instructions. There's stuff in there that you might want to know about, and that can help you use the product better than if you just fumble through and try it out. So taking a look at the book here, some facts and figures about this microphone. Says it's a 16mm condenser capsule microphone for professional studio quality. Well, we're going to put that to the test and see how it does here. It's got a cardioid pickup pattern, so it's going to be mainly in front of the microphone and try and limit what's going on around the microphone. So that's good. Whenever you got a microphone, you want it to pick up in front and pick you up, but you don't necessarily want to pick up everything else. They say that this thing doesn't make a lot of noise, doesn't pick up any noise of its own, so that's good. We want a good, clean recording. It says it has 0 latency, which means if I've got my headphones plugged in, I'm talking into here, I'm hearing everything real time. It's not I say it here, then I hear an echo in my headphones. So that's good if you want to monitor yourself while you're using this microphone. The other interesting thing about this microphone is that they say it's got a built-in pop filter. So we're going to try some P's and B's and see how well that pop filter works. Also curious, how close do I need to be to this microphone? If I keep it down here on the table, you know, what do we got? Maybe a foot there? Or, I mean, obviously I don't think you're going to hold it up like this. But hey, we're going to give it a try either way and see how that works out. And the other cool thing is that on the bottom here, the stand, you can take the stand off, and it's your standard 3/8 threaded hole, which fits on most microphone stands or other kinds of boom arms or things like that. You can get an adapter if you need to, but it's a pretty common size. So if you wanted to take off this stand, attach it to something else, have it hanging in here, whatever you might want to do, that could work too. So you do have options on how you can use this microphone. You can plug it into your computer, your phone, a tablet. You've got options there. So I'm going to be plugging it into my M1 Mac Mini that I recently picked up. All right, let's jump into the computer and really run this guy through some paces, make some recordings, and see how this guy sounds. So I got the microphone hooked up here. We're connecting using the USB cable. So when I'm using this microphone and you guys are hearing the audio from this microphone, I'm going to put a little note in the bottom of the screen, probably over here somewhere, so that way you guys know which microphone you're hearing. Before we get into our sample recordings, we need to set this guy up. So all I did was plug it in. Now you want to jump into your computer preferences, and we're going to want to set the levels for this mic. So there's no gain dial on this mic, so you can't adjust the input levels on the microphone itself. Now there's a volume knob, but that's only going to affect your headphones. So I do have some headphones plugged into the back of the microphone here. I'm going to be using my headphones here so we can hear how it sounds
through this guy right here. So if I throw in the headphones, I can hear myself coming right through here. There's no delay or anything like that. Like we talked about, zero latency, which is really good. And I can adjust the volume knob on here to change it and make it louder in my headphones if I want. So go in your computer settings. I'm on a Mac, so this is for a Mac, but if you're on a PC, go to your microphone settings for your PC. Now in here under input, we see primary play device. So primary play device, that is what this is called, right? It doesn't come up as a microphone, comes up as a primary input device because it's technically like an audio interface is kind of how it's working here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, when I look at my input volume here, you can see it's going up and it's peaking. So I'm going to click this guy and I'm going to drag that down to probably about 50%. And generally, when you're setting your microphone input levels, you want it to be as low as you can, so that way you're not picking up lots of extra ambient noise, right? Now, as we already talked about, this is cardioid, so it should just be picking up in front of the mic, not behind the mic. But you want to keep that in mind, setting your levels good to start. Now, in my ears, I can't hear myself because I turned down my level. So if I just turn my volume back up, now I can hear everything and it should be good to go. Now, since I'm using my headphones on this microphone, I do want to make this microphone my output device, just so anything from my computer comes through the microphone. So go to your output settings. Again, I'm on a Mac here, obviously, but if you're on a PC, go to your output settings, and you can change that to be the primary audio interface right there. So closing down our sound settings, I'm going to go directly into DaVinci Resolve, and I'm going to do some voiceover type recording in there just to get some samples of how this guy sounds. If you want to know how to do that, I've got videos on that on my channel, how to work in DaVinci Resolve, how to do voiceovers. You can check that out if you're interested. All right, here we go. We're recording in DaVinci Resolve. I've got the microphone a little less than a foot away from my face. It's kind of angled up towards my mouth. I'm curious to see how is this sounding. Just looking at my meters here in DaVinci Resolve, it looks like my levels are a little low, which I'd rather them be a little low than too high and peaking. So we can always go and adjust that later on. But this is the first test of the 7RYMES SR USB microphone. Let's give this a listen and see how it sounds. Now, you guys are hearing this live. I'm going to go back and listen to it and give you my first impression here of what this microphone sounds like. All right, guys, I just gave it my first listen. You're hearing it right now again, and I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. It comes through very clean and crisp. Some more tests here. You know, they said it has a built-in pop filter. So if I say Sally shells seashells at the seashore, or Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, let's see how that sounds. Now, you guys are hearing it live. I'm going to listen back. But if I get closer too, you're going to notice the proximity effect here. You know, it's going to sound a little bit better if I get closer. But the microphone is so little that generally you're going to be a little bit of a distance away. But overall, first impression, I mean, I got to say it's pretty good. So I did just listen back to the Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, and I do hear a little bit of popping in there, right? So, you know, there's different ways you can handle that. I know it's got a built-in pop filter, they say. One thing is you can just kind of turn the microphone to the side a little so you're speaking past it. That's always going to help your microphone and reduce some of those plosives. So that's one thing that you can do. You can just be careful about how you're speaking, right? You want to maybe project above the microphone. That can help too. But I got to say, overall, I think first impressions of this microphone, it sounds really clean and pretty solid. I mean, I got to be honest. I used the Blue Yeti for a long time, and that's an awesome microphone. And I would say that just off the bat here, it sounds like this is pretty on par with that. So I am impressed with the quality that I'm getting straight out of this microphone. No audio processing, no EQ, no dynamics, nothing on here, just straight out of this microphone. Now, one test that we can try here is that, you know, it's cardioid pickup pattern, so it's picking up in front of the mic. So if I turn this around like this and I face the microphone away from me, I should be a little quieter, and you shouldn't hear me as clearly as if I turn it back around and face it back up towards my mouth. Now, I don't have too much extra background noise going on in here. I'm in my little studio, got acoustic blankets all around me. So, you know, there's not a whole lot of extra noise that this thing might pick up. I do have some dehumidifiers, so I'm going to go turn those on real quick. Then we're going to come back and see if that picks up, you know, any of these guys. All right, just turned on the dehumidifiers. I mean, they're going in the background. Again, I've got acoustic blankets all around me, so that's going to help, you know, block that sound a little bit. But let me just be quiet for a second here and see if we can hear any of that. And a little distance test here. So right now, like I said, I'm probably a little less than a foot away from the microphone. If I back up a little bit more, that's probably more like a foot and a half away. And, you know, if my microphone was even farther away here on my desk, you know, and I'm back here, this is definitely at least 2 feet away. So how does that sound? Again, you can always adjust your levels, but the more you boost up those levels, you know, the more background noise you might be picking up. But I would say that if I'm just sitting at my computer here working, you know, with the microphone at a reasonable distance in front of me, I would keep my keyboard on the back side of the microphone so that way it limits, you know, picking up me typing or whatever. But, you know, overall, I think the form factor is great. It's not going to get in the way. I think the quality of the microphone sounds really good. Definitely sign up for that contest because I think any of you guys would be happy to get this microphone to use in your setups and just help you get some better audio and better recording. So wrapping things up, what do I think of this microphone? I got to be honest, for 80 bucks, I think it's a pretty good deal and I think it sounds great. It comes in a small package, which is kind of convenient because if you've got it on the desk in front of you, you don't want something that's huge. I know that was one of my issues with my Yeti and why I swapped it out for a boom mic. It was just in the way too much. It was too big. So this guy is not that big. It sounds good in your recordings. The headphones work great when you use the headphone jack. It's got the mute button here. If I kind of like that, then you can't hear anything, which is great if you're on like Zoom calls or something like that. You just want to mute, you know, on your microphone versus doing it in the computer. That works out really well. So I got to say that 7RYMES did a great job with this microphone. I'm impressed. And for 80 bucks, I think it's a good deal. So if you're looking in that sub $100 range for a good quality microphone, something that's going to give you good audio and just really help your videos sound great, this microphone might be something that you're interested in. So definitely check out that contest, sign up for that. Really excited for one of you guys to win that. Whoever the winner is, 7RYMES will send one of these out to you guys, and you're going to get it for free so that you can use it and make your videos sound awesome. So a big thank you to 7RYMES and Derek for sending this one out to me to try out, give a shot, and share with you guys. With that said, guys, thank you for checking out the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace!